Hey everyone, it's Richard Metal Fan here, continuing the Testament discography review, and today we're going to be looking into Demonic, the band's seventh album released in 1997 through Burnt Offering Records, or Prosthetic Records, but yeah, anyway. Now this is the seventh album, and once again the band has gone through a little bit of a lineup change. And they have a different drummer now who is currently with them. Well, he didn't play on the next album, but they of course got the great Gene Hoglan, who, the Atomic Clock, who also played in, I believe, in Death and a bunch of other bands. And they have a different bass player on this album. In fact, this is, I believe, the only Testament album that they recorded as a four-piece. They have Derek Ramirez, who plays bass on this, although he was previously a guitar player, but for some reason he played bass on this album, and they had only additional guitar player, Glenn Alveas. I can never pronounce his name. Yeah, he plays additional guitar on like one of the songs on here. But yeah, but technically this is mostly a four-piece record for only four guys recording. And that's where I think it's the only one that they've done so far. And with this album, Demonic, I feel like this is pretty much in the era, especially in like the mid 90s, mid to late 90s, where Testament, they kind of just went just more death metal, which is just, you can even tell with like the album artwork and shit. It's like just straight up just fucking death metal. Oh, and I love death metal, especially with Chuck Billy's like vocals and just his death growls is just insane. And just the musicianship is just a lot more darker, which I love. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now, starting things off is Demonic Refusal, which the beginning of the song begins with sort of like satanic cheese. We hear of the 9, 8, 7, 6, 6, 6, which kind of ruins the mood, to be honest. And the rest of the song is pretty solid, but nothing to go out of your way to listen to. Then we go into The Burning Times, which a song lyric is about war and what's going on with the world, much like some of the tracks off of Practice What You Preach. And the difference being is that this has a lot heavier death metal feel, and pinch harmonics were kind of overused in the song, but then they formed the song's lead structure. Not all of that was well written, but it just doesn't get the juices flowing, if you know what I mean. It makes me feel like a stereotypical black metal guy at a concert the band is rocking out to the extreme, but there I am in the corner, or kind of like staring, looking at with my arms crossed, but yeah. Anyway, moving on to Together as One, which the first riff is just very complicated and technical, with yet plodding along slowly at the same time. Everything here fits well, and the vocals are complementary to the music, and the guitarists make effective use of the wah pedal and other effects and harmonization and just the plain inspiration. It brings the creeping sensation to the table than like the previous two tracks into that. But yeah, then we go into Jun Jun, which received my vote for, in my opinion, the best song off of Demonic. Not only that, it's one of Testament's best songs, period. Like Together as One, it pretty much it has like good use of the wah pedal and kicks some ass, and double bass drum. The double bass drumming is just exists, pummeling your worthless skull. Is it more wah scented as soul is just pinch harmonic, shows you what the metal Testament is all about, and it's just, yeah, it makes you want to just listen to it more and more. Anyway, moving on to John Doe, which has some very heavy percussion going on, but doesn't really stand, and despite the airy pinch harmonic overtones, the riffing is kind of boring, and the song is thankfully quite short. But Murky Waters, the next song, on the other hand, starts out with some quite thrashy guitar work and soon progresses from mid-paced marching to a galloping onslaught driven by kick drum and six-string power, and the chorus part slows down but stays heavy. Certainly one of the best songs that I've found on here. Anyway, next song on the album is called Hatred's Rise, which is a good song with some classic Chuck Billy vocals. Those, unless it's sort of like the growling, it kind of reminds me of like something from like their early stuff. In fact, this song actually reminds me of their cover of Scorpion's Sails of Charon, and it has the same basic work structure mixed in with sort of like a different chords arrangement and a solo that doesn't compare. It feels like they kind of like recycling old ideas, and it sounds so, but it just leaves things or two words just above average. Anyway, Distorted Lives, which is another boring song with good drumming in the vein of John Doe, only this song is marginally better and quite a bit heavier. Even though the riff is more interesting, it seems to be kind of bland and it gets old quick. New Eyes of Gold was one of those songs that seemed to make up the bulk of Demonic, Nick, and there are some enjoyable parts and some enjoyable ones. Yeah. Anyway, 10,000 Thrones. Now, this song starts off heavy and then it slows down and loses the listener's interest briefly, but long enough to be noticed before throwing into a cool, haunting section. But then it sort of like returns to its losing interest sound with the boring, repetitive, recycled riffs. And the haunting section returns with a muddy, semi-distorted sound to pique your interest and spark your hope. But yeah, and I was but then the album closes with Nostrovia, which is a little bit more of the chanting title with some cool drumming and a droning guitar riff for about a minute, and then the album ends too, and then you're left remembering some really good songs, but mostly average filler material, but fun times. Now, overall, Demonic by Testament is a solid album. It's really good, but it doesn't like compare it to like some of their earlier stuff. But yeah, if I were to give this album a score, I'm probably going to give this a solid 8 out of 10. So yeah, that's my review of Demonic by Testament, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about it, and I'll see you all in the next video. And as always, keep it metal.